Hi everyone, this is Tammy and welcome to my channel, Life Began in a Garden. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make herbal tea. And today we're going to be doing dandelion flower tea. I will show you how to identify the plant and I'll discuss some of the benefits with you of drinking herbal tea. And I will also, at the end of this video, do a flip through of this little mini herbal tea journal that you're looking at. I will show you all the pages through it. And if you would like to make one, you can go to my journal or my video that I did on making mini journals and just choose the style that you would like to use, and this will show you how, or give you some ideas anyway, of how to decorate it. Now these are the dandelions, and it grows in a rosette like that, meaning that everything comes from the center point, just right above where the root goes down at. And so here I'm showing you, it's a cloudy day, and all of the little flowers have closed up. And it's not that they're dead or that they're fixing to burst open with their little powdery stuff, but it's simply because it's cloudy outside and they don't open up until they see the sun. So if you find them like this, just give them a little while, give the sun time to come out, and go back to where you found them at, and they'll be all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. So I'm showing you the leaves there on how to identify them. They're very jagged leaves. They don't hurt you to touch them, but just in appearance, they're jagged. And this is not a good example here of the flowers because, like I said, they're closed up. That one's trying to open up a little bit. But here's the flowers completely opened up and the leaves. And as you can see, you can look down the very center of it and see that everything's coming from that center point. And just putting 2 fingers underneath the flower and pulling up is an easy way to get them out. And this, if you look at the stem, is the white stuff. It's a milk sap, and it actually has medical value itself. You can, I haven't tried this before, but supposedly you can rub that milky stuff on a wart and continue doing that for the course of about a week. Try to keep it on there as much as you can, and it will make the wart go away. It also works for corns. It's got a lot of benefit to it. And this little guy here is a honeybee, and he's out foraging, just like I am. And he's foraging for nectar. And the dandelion is one of the first flowers to come out that the bees like to get nectar from in the springtime. So they've gone all winter without flowers, and now the dandelions are out, and the bees are really enjoying them, and they get a lot of their nectar from them. And I don't know if you can see this close up enough, but that little bumblebee that I keep following around, if you look at that orangey looking stuff on his back end, like the back legs, that's the pollen. He collects the pollen and stores it on his hind legs, and that's how he goes from plant to plant getting the pollen or the nectar, and he takes that back to his hive and releases it in the hive, and then he goes back out and gets more and just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it is through that honey is made, and it is these little guys that make the honey, and they really depend on flowers like the dandelion to make their honey. And so these are in my yard. They're everywhere in my yard. I love them. They have tremendous medical value. The flower the leaves and the roots and the stem. It's all edible and it all has medical value to it. So today I'm just going to discuss the value of the flower itself and ways that you can use it. But while you're out foraging, I think it would be a great idea to just also forage for the leaves. And if you are foraging on your own property and you want to dig up a couple of them or a few of them and get some roots, the roots are also very helpful medically. So to make the tea, you need about 2 cups of the flowers. But you don't use the whole flower, or I don't anyway, because it makes the tea bitter. So I'm just using the petals off of it. And this is how that I have found to be the easiest way to get the petals off of the little stem thing that they're hooked onto there. I don't know what that's called, but anyway. If you roll the dandelion in your finger a few times, between your finger and your thumb, it kind of loosens up those petals and makes them easier to pull out. And if you look at my thumbs there and my fingers, you end up with that yellow oil from the flower all over your fingers. So it's not that my fingers are dirty, it's that I've been doing this for a while. I'm doing this part here just to show you how to do it, but I've already done a whole lot of it. That big bowl that you saw before this in the picture was done before I started doing this to show you how. So I'm making about a half a teacup of dandelion tea. And that's how much of the flowers that I'm using. So I don't know the measurement exactly, but if you look at that, that's about how much you would need if you're doing half a cup. But if you're going to make a full teacup, then you would need twice that. So I have boiled the water, let it come to a boil, and then pour it in over the flowers. And then once you've done that, you're supposed to let it steep. So that means that you need to cover it. And I don't know how many of you know that the teacup originally was designed with the saucer for this purpose in mind, so that you could use the saucer to set it over the top of the teacup to steep your tea. If you just let the tea sit there without a cover, then a lot of the benefits actually evaporate out into the air. So I just use another teacup and a coffee filter, and I pour all of that into the coffee filter, and then I strain it out into the clean cup. So you can see here how it's straining out, and you need to mash it really good as much as you can. All of the juice out that you can get out. And you can use more petals and make this stronger if you want, or use less. It would be entirely up to you. And even though this tastes pretty good just on its own, I like to use honey. So I put a teaspoon of honey in mine and stir it up in there. And it changes the color a little bit when you do that. But it also adds the benefit of the honey. Just make sure that you do this at this point and don't put it in the boiling water, because hot water to that extent of heat would kill the benefits of the honey. And so, like I said, I'm doing a lot more than just making the tea. So I'm going to make some dandelion jelly. And I don't know if you've ever tried that before, but it is so good. So in that bowl, I have 4 cups of dandelion flowers, and I have removed the bottom part of them. And then I have poured 4 cups of boiling water in over the flowers. So you stir it up good just to make sure that they all get down there in the water and they're not just floating on top. And once you've got it stirred up good, you cover it. So I just use a regular dinner plate to cover that bowl because that's a big bowl. And you cover it and you put it in the refrigerator overnight. And then the next day, that part is already done and you can take it out and make your dandelion jelly. In the next video that I do, I will show you how to make the dandelion jelly. These are the roots from the dandelions, and they are dry. And so I'm showing you this because if you do decide to go ahead and forage different parts of the dandelion, the roots, the flowers, the leaves, the stem, this is how you know if the root is dry. If you can just break it in your hand like that, and it breaks in two, then it's dried out. And for most of the other things that how to do, you need dried dandelion. So you need the leaves to be dry and the roots to be dry and the flowers to be dry. But there are many, many things that you can do with dandelion. It's unbelievable, all the different things that you can do. So, like I said, when you're out there foraging anyway to get your flowers, just go ahead and forage for your roots and your leaves as well. This is one that I just pulled up, and I'm just showing you that so you can see how it looks. The stem is very smooth. It goes all the way up the leaf itself. So if you look at the back of the leaf, you can see that the stem is going up the center of it. Some of the dandelions have that red look to them on the stem, and some just have the green look. So whether it's there is not really an indicator of whether or not it's dandelion. So there's many sites that you can go to get better images or more things to look for to know for sure that you have dandelion. But dandelion is such a common plant that I believe that most people watching this already know what a dandelion is. It's that weed that grows in your yard that a lot of people try to kill. But I think that they just don't understand the benefits of dandelion, or they wouldn't be trying to kill it, they'd be trying to use it. So I'm washing off this. I'm just showing you just under running water. You just wash it off. And really, this is water from the faucet, which isn't the greatest because it's got fluoride in it, and would be better just to rinse them off in bottled water. If you have that, that's probably a better choice than what I'm doing here. But all you're doing is try to rinse off any dirt that might be on it or any ants. Ants seem to like these too, so it rinses them off. And then you just lay them out and let them dry. And I lay them on something that, well, actually I use my dehydrator trays, and I lay them out on there and just let them dry. From the many different sites that I've read about dandelion, the flower may be the healthiest part of the whole plant. It helps protect against cancer, and it also helps protect against cardiovascular disease. It has the highest level of antioxidants of the whole plant. There's more in the flower. It has anti-inflammatory properties. It has great nutritional value. It has vitamin A in the form of beta-carotene. It also has vitamin C, vitamin K, all the B vitamins, the B complex, and B12. It is a great thing to add to your diet. So there are many different ways that you can add it into your diet. You can put the flowers in a salad. You can dry them and add them into whatever meals that you're doing that you think they might fit into, or you can make a capsule out of them and take them that way. This is showing the herbal journal that I made, and actually me and my sister made this one, and all the different things that we put in it. So there's little pockets in there. There's areas to write herbal tea recipes on. And I'm just trying to give you an idea, if you're wanting to make one, just an idea of some of the things that we put in this one. And back to the dandelion, if you would go ahead and gather up a bunch of them, you're going to be seeing more videos from me on ways to use the dandelion. And the very next video is how to make the dandelion jelly. But there are so many more things than just that to do with it, and I hope that you give dandelions a chance to prove to you what a beneficial plant that they really are. And if you have been trying to get rid of them in your yard, maybe you need to rethink that and give them a place in your yard where they can grow. Your backyard or somewhere. They're actually growing all over the place on my property. They're growing in my front yard, my backyard, everywhere. But I hope you like them, and I hope you'll give it a try and join me in the next video to learn how to do dandelion jelly. And it's actually very, very good. May God bless you and your family, and I will see you again soon.